Hi, I'm Yusuf, and today we'll be learning how you can use DataSnipper to perform your receivables cutoff testing. To define the use case, cutoff testing is usually performed in order to validate that a transaction was included in the correct period as at the balance sheet date. In the case of receivables, we'll be checking that the invoices and goods delivery notes align with the date of payment for the receivables which were paid after the year end should be included, and those which were paid before the year end should not be included, as this is double counting both the cash received and the receivable asset. To define our work steps, we're first going to use document matching to reconcile all of our supporting documentation, including the invoices, goods delivery notes, and bank statement showing records of payment. Then, for any items where payment is not yet received, we're going to reconcile the order proposal. Following this, we'll use the review functionality of DataSnipper to check that the dates of all items were correctly included or not. We'll finish by using some formulae to mark our conclusion, making it very easy for the reviewer to check. Let's get started. Here I've got a workbook which I've created with my AR cutoff sample. I've also included some formulae to help me calculate my conclusions. However, you could accomplish the exact same thing just by using conditional formatting or even just typing in a cell and then changing the colour. I can now import all of the relevant documents which I've received and placed in this folder. I have them nicely labelled by my client, but this wouldn't matter too much as document matching will be doing the heavy lifting in terms of aligning the source documentation. So now we're going to go through our steps. I'm going to start by making document groups for each type of document. In this case, I've got 4 different types of documents: invoices, goods delivery notes, order proposals, and bank statements. So I'm going to make a document group for each. Once we've created these document groups, we'll tell DataSnipper where is the header row. I'll then select the relevant input and output columns. Here, we're going to want to match on the unique IDs of invoice number, order number, and then dates and amounts. And finally, we'll also use the customer name, as these are the relevant fields which I'd like to compare. Since we're matching 4 different groups, we're going to set up each set of output columns in turn. For the invoices, we're going to match the invoice number to column L, leave the order number blank, and match the date and the amount to M and N, leaving the customer name blank. For the delivery notes, we'll leave the invoice number blank, match the order number to column P, leaving the date and amount blank, and then matching the customer name to column Q. Next, looking at the bank statement, we're going to match the invoice number to column X, leave the order number and date blank, and then match the amount to column Z. Finally, we'll add in the order proposal and we'll match the order number and amounts to columns T and V respectively. You always have the option to set tolerance thresholds, but since we're looking for exact matches, I'm going to leave this out. Now, I can click on Match All Rows. Et voila! The DataSnipper document matching tool has enabled me to get a clear understanding of all the documents that I've imported. I can now go through and review exactly which documents are here. I can also use manual snipping to extract extra information, such as the delivery and payment dates, and also confirm that proposals were signed and countersigned by someone from my client and also from the counterparty. Manual snipping can also help me extract any unmatched amounts, such as these bank statement payments. The final step is that I'll go through each set of documents and check that it was correctly included or excluded from the AR listing. I'm going to use the grouping feature of Excel so I only see the relevant date columns, and I can use the snips to reference the source documents and check that these dates are correct. For example, if a sample item was invoiced in 2021, received in 2021, and then paid in 2022, it's valid that this was included in the current year AR listing. If the payment also happened in 2021, then it's not valid to include it in the AR listing. Once we do the same thing for all the other documents, we can pass on this test of detail to the reviewer in a fraction of the time it would have taken us before. The benefit to using DataSnipper is that the reviewer can now also see the entire document flow. I really hope you've enjoyed this use case. Why not give it a try yourself when you next work on cut-off test of details? Happy snipping!